what this all means, the commissioner apparently sent out word to all of the teams that as long as it's okay with government officials, 100 up to 100 people can come back. The coaching staff and other people in the front office can come back. What types of jobs? Obviously, the head coach and the coaching staff would be here. Trainers. What would comprise the 100, and who would get left out on this?
Well, I think the key thing is that coaches can come back into the building starting tomorrow. Now, the first phase, the Browns started their first phase earlier in the week, where they other employees were able to come in, but that excluded coaches and players. So having Kevin Stefanski back in the building, if he's able to get back in there tomorrow, or is planning on getting back in there tomorrow, I'm guessing he probably will. I think that is the next big hurdle to getting football back onto the field in the fall. Of course, after this, and Roger Goodell has said he really wants to have players into the facilities, at least some players in the facilities before the end of the offseason program on June 26th. But getting coaches back is big news.
You know, it's interesting when you hear the number 100, you say, "Whoa, that's a lot." But it's pretty easy to sit down with a pencil and paper and start scribbling down positions, and that 100 gets used up pretty quick.
Oh, absolutely. And, there are so many people in so many different departments. And again, I mean, just the coaches alone, you could probably get up to 20, and then you've got the whole personnel staff. So I think it's very, very significant that they are letting these guys back in the building. We talked to Alex-van-Pelt on the phone on a Zoom call yesterday. We talked to Joe Woods, the defensive coordinator, last week. These guys are so eager to get back into the building and to start their job and to really do something other than virtual football.
Well, you've been doing virtual football. What do you think will happen maybe going into next year? Is it possible that something good could come out of this, that you find different ways of coaching, you find different ways of handling certain situations? Is it the kind of thing that you won't see again next year, or do you think they're learning from these Zoom meetings and other things that they're doing, that they have to do? Do you think they're learning anything and may project that into their business next year?
Well, I do think that they're making the most of it, and not only just in terms of installing the offensive scheme and the defensive scheme, but Alex Van Pelt shared with us yesterday some of the things that Kevin Stefanski is doing to try to foster that team building. Things like a slam dunk contest, a movie poster contest. So, you've got things like that they're doing. I don't think that they will need to use so much virtual technology if the world gets a handle on the COVID-19 situation. I think that they would like to be back to face. I think they want to be back on the field. Once again, it's a contact sport. Right now, what would be happening is they would be, probably wrapping up a mini camp or getting ready to head into a mini camp this weekend to kind of close it off. And they will have had 10 OTA practices where offense gets to work against the defense, where Joe Woods would get to shake hands with his linebackers and introduce himself and say, hey, maybe you should be my middle linebacker. So I don't think that this is ideal, but I will say I think the Browns have made the most of it.
Who makes the ultimate decision about the season starting whenever they're talking about it? Is it the commissioner? Is it the governors? Is it the president? Is it how does this actually get on the field?
Well, it will have to be a collaborative effort between the NFL and the NFLPA. And, I think even today as we speak, I think the players are talking about a safe return to facilities. So, I think that's going on. There was supposed to be a conference call today about that. The NFLPA is, safety first is what they're all about. So they want to make sure that their players are safe. They will have to negotiate getting back on the field in a way that their players are comfortable with. So it'll be the NFL, the NFLPA, it will be, all the medical people involved, and then it will be the states. I mean, the governors have to say, yes, you are allowed to do this. Yes, you're allowed to operate in stadiums, and you're allowed to operate in your facilities. So it will take a little bit of everybody.
Governor DeWine, of course, has two football teams, the Browns and the Bengals. Do you foresee anything that some states will accept it and some won't, so that you have to maybe double up on games or not have home games for some teams? Almost anything can happen here.
Yes, almost anything can happen, but it seems like most states are opening up. Most states are, kind of working together. I think a lot of the governors are talking to each other and working out plans. I know that the sports leagues are talking to all the governors and trying to work through these things to make sure that, they can get these leagues opened up. So if there are a few stragglers, a few states that aren't really ready for complete action, then I suppose that those teams could end up maybe perhaps playing in another state. But I think come September, it seems that most states will be open and ready to go.
Mary-Kay,